Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Rise and Shine webinar. Today's session is about how to boost your eco group with the Solar Ambassador Scheme. The Solar Ambassador Scheme was devised by Solar for Schools. It is completely original to us. And we are very proud of the fact that our intern, Ali Ashworth, of 10 months, she was with us for 10 months, and she's still with us actually on a part-time basis. She came to us from Lancaster University. She studies, help me out, Wendy, environmental sustainability.
Environmental science at Lancaster University, yes.
And she's in her third year.
Sorry.
And she's in her third year, yeah. And she co-developed the Solar Ambassador Scheme with us. And it's really her portfolio piece, and we're very proud of the fact that she's done that. So we're just going to talk you through it today. We will talk about what the Solar Ambassador Scheme actually is. We'll look at the workbook that Ali helped to create, and then finally thinking about rewarding students with the certificate. So to kick off, the Solar Ambassador Scheme, it is really meant to be very light touch for teachers. You know, we're Wendy and I, who Wendy is the head of, she's here just now. Say hello, Wendy. Wendy is the head of education at Solar for Schools, and
Morning.
Has been a teacher for over 25 years. I was a teacher for about 12 years, and we both are still educators. And we know how time poor teachers are. So we really wanted to come up with something that could be completely student led, and the teachers just have to kind of glance over, you know, there's no heavy marking involved. There's no holding students' hand throughout it. You just let them get on with it, right? The students take and it is really as simple as A, B, C, but we threw a D in there as well. Okay, so the students take a pledge, the ABCD pledge, which stands for assemblies, behaviour change, communication and data analysis. And the whole point of a Solar Ambassador, and let's just clarify, the Solar Ambassador Scheme is really meant for with schools that have solar already in mind. However, there are some schools that they're on the journey towards getting solar. Or maybe, you know, the senior leadership team have already started exploring the idea of getting solar, and we would encourage you to start your students on this journey even before you have those solar panels up on your rooftop, because it's about getting them involved in the project and enabling them, empowering them to take ownership of it. So as you can see on this screen, the assembly part of it is exactly what it says. It is about sharing their knowledge with the rest of the school community through 1, 2, however many assemblies they decide to do. And they're really doing that to promote behaviour change across the school. And when we talk about behaviour change, we're talking about behaviour change around energy consumption, right? So getting the rest of the school to think about, well, we've got these wonderful solar panels and we're going to get them, and they are helping us to reduce carbon significantly, but how can we do more across the school to reduce our energy consumption so that we're saving more money, but also, you know, we are doing our bit for the planet. And this is why this is a great project for your eco group, because they will be very interested in the fact that you are saving carbon by having you're stopping carbon emissions by having solar, and there's more that you can do. All right, we'll come to that in a moment with the data analysis. So the communication aspect of it is really important, and that communication can happen through the assemblies, or it can happen through other media and styles in classroom talks. It can happen through displays across the school, posters, videos that they make, and maybe things on social media. So that's really where they get to be creative about how they share their information. And then the data analysis part comes in really after you've got the solar on the rooftop. Once you have that solar, as you know, if you have been with us and engaging with our education programme, then you know that you get access to education graphs, and these show you your solar generation, your overall consumption of electricity across the school, what you import in electricity from the grid and what you export to the grid. Okay, so it's about empowering your students to be able to interpret those graphs and share them with the rest of the school, because not everybody will be confident in reading them. So coming on to the beautiful, incredible workbook that was co-created by intern Ali Ashworth. And we've also got the designer here on our call today, Marianne. Marianne, do you want to say hello?
Hello.
And I said call, didn't I? But I meant webinar, that's what I meant. So Marianne co-designed it along with Ali. And yeah, it's just as mentioned, it's about I can't even remember how many pages it has. It has about 19 pages. It's really there to help students to work through the activities themselves. So it's split into the A, B, C, D sections, and it talks about the Solar for Schools app as well, and how to integrate that into what they're doing. It explains a reward system, so a point system, and this is to encourage students to tally their own points as well, right? So it's really to make them think about, right, okay, so what do I want to get and how many points do I want to get along the way? And they can go for bronze, silver or gold type activities, obviously differing in difficulty and challenge. And as they work through the booklet, they will work through different activities that will get them thinking about things like green careers, energy use around the school. I mentioned the graphs earlier. There's a section where they do some analysis around let's go to it. Here it is, understanding the data that you get when you get access to your solar panel data, and they work through these activities themselves. And we're really not encouraging, I mean, if you want to, teachers, you can sit and mark this because it is linked to the Key Stage. It's linked to Key Stage 2 and Key Stage 3 curriculum, to science and to maths. So if you wanted to integrate this into your curriculum learning, you certainly could, and that would obviously take more time from you to just sit and have a look at what's covered in it. But there's lots of opportunities for students to work independently, and that's really the point of it, is that they do this, they present it to you, you book them in for assembly, they deliver an assembly on the solar, and then when they are when you feel that they have done enough, they've delivered an assembly, or they've created a display around school, maybe they've done some of the media activities and created a video, then you're ready to give them a certificate. But let's just look at where you might find this information on our education portal and on our website. So the first place that you'll find information about the Ambassador scheme is on the Solar for Schools website, education.solarforschools.co.uk, and you go to get involved, be a solar ambassador, and this just explains what the scheme is all about. And from there you can download the workbook. So if you have access already to the education portal, when you click on this button, it will take you to the portal to download it. Well, it used to anyway. Now takes you to a form, so I'll show you where to get it if you're on the portal. If you don't have access to the education portal yet, but you're interested in getting this booklet for your school, you can actually purchase it, and there's an order form there for you to fill out and do that. If you have access to the education portal because you have solar with Solar for Schools, you go to eduportal.solarforschools.co.uk. You will only be able to see your own school there. I'll just click on one of the schools that I have here, and then you click on resources, and then you'll find the Key Stage 3 workbook just about halfway down here, and you can click on download. So that's really meant for you to print it off yourselves at school, or you can request Solar for Schools, so you can pay a bit of money and Solar for Schools will organise some printing for you and post it to you. Okay. So once you have got students taking the pledge and working through the workbook themselves, and let's say they've done one or more of the activities, and you feel confident that they are deserving of their certificate, then you can give them their go to the website and download the certificate from the Solar Ambassador page. And that can be found here. And that will just download straight away. And the certificate looks like this. Okay, has the pledge on it on the one side, for you to and a space for the student's name, and then a space for your signature and date, and then their name and head teacher's name and everything, so you can make it look proper for them. So that's about all the information that you can download from the website about the Solar Ambassador scheme. And I would say, I was trying to think, Wendy, about how many schools that we've had participate in this so far. I would say it's at least 100 children have taken the pledge to be Solar Ambassadors so far, if not more.
Absolutely, yeah. Many have had assemblies where they've had a special assembly to present these. A lot of secondary schools have used it as like primary school liaison, going out to see the children in other schools, and they've delivered aspects of this. And then I think I'd probably say, from my point of view, when I was a teacher leading the sustainability in school, just to have had a booklet like this to allow differentiated work that was scaffolded, so literally I could let the children do this at different ages and different levels without input, or at least while I sorted my day out. We've all been there, 5 lessons on a run, dinner duty, morning duty, after school duty, and then 30 enthusiastic members of the eco group turning up, wanting to do something exciting, even if it's just the first 10 minutes of the group. There's lots of ways this can support you as the lead, or one of your colleagues as the lead, because at this moment in time, sustainability leads in most schools don't come with a time allowance or a TLR. So we're hoping this will help out. And obviously this responds very well to the curriculum review that's just been published at the end of 2025.
Yeah. Can you talk more on that, Wendy, and just about that review?
So if anybody's read, it's a very, very long review, but if I just summarise very quickly for sustainability, the sustainability is expected to obviously appear in your science, geography and DT, which for most people it does through the curriculum as well, but they want some more in citizenship and cross-curricular education. So if you were to combine this with our app, our mobile app, you would cover that off very easily without any difficulty within school, and you could provide the children a challenge and a way of rewarding them for their input. Whilst this is very much centred around solar and renewable energy, it will fit in any subject. We can look at the historical aspects of this. You can look at the debate of whether solar is the right answer for things. And Danielle's just previewing now the app there. If you can see, there's 5 learning journeys. Obviously with solar power, tell us a bit more about solar power, but also the ones to do with Key Stage 3. So these are trying to be clear, they're interactive. There's questions, and there's also videos from Switch Energy Alliance, which are impartial, they're not leaning to one way. And there's quite a lot of science and geography hidden within this, but not presented as it would do in the curriculum. So it looks quite different. So something to check out, and certainly something to look at our other webinars to have a little bit more about the app. So we hope we help you out. I know Ali spent a lot of time with this with Danielle and Mariam's support, so really pleased to launch this.
Yeah, and I think just to finish off, we would really love to hear about any schools that have been using the workbook and have and found it helpful, or that students have completed it. Don't think we've had any schools come forward to say that they've completed it yet. So if you're that eco group and you've been really enthusiastic and you've managed to get through it, then do let us know. Drop us a line. I'll put our contact details up now. We would be really delighted to hear about what you've done with the Solar Ambassador scheme and your own eco group. And that's it for our Rise and Shine webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you, and see you next time.